And we're back. It's been a while since we did a rabbit hole podcast.
That is correct, but we are back. I am your humble host, as always, JP, and with me is my good buddy, heterosexual life mate, and forever friend, Jeremy.
Hello.
And today on this podcast, we have a special guest.
Very special.
Sitting in between us in the comfy chair, or couch.
The couch.
Is Shady.
Hi. Feel a little weird being on your casting couch.
Yeah, we'll get to that later, but...
He's the first one to ever be on our casting
Yeah,
couch.
our first guest. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
To us, too, because we have a guest.
We have a guest.
So, hey, if you've been keeping up on what we've been doing, clearly we haven't been making podcasts, Jeremy.
No, absolutely not. We've been just diving headfirst into the gaming thing, and I think it's served us pretty good. I think we've been having a hell of a time playing 7 Days to Die and Schedule 1 and just having a good time. The three of us, three amigos, riding into the sunset and riding back into the dawn.
Yeah, so we made that change a few months ago now where we picked up Shady as our third for 7 Days to Die, and we branched out and started doing a couple other games as well, yeah. Honestly, let's drop a call in now because we're looking for a fourth. If there's anybody with any ability to edit and who wants to just play games and have a good time and be dorks,
Hell yeah.
yeah, get a hold of us.
We need a number
sure.
4. We need a fourth horseman.
Okay, so...
I'm
Speaking of
always
7
on the
days,
third wheel.
yeah, he is the third wheel, especially with Jeremy and me. He's kind of he's in the middle of a relationship.
Oh, rocky one right now, I tell you.
And actually, if anybody didn't know, Shady is my brother. So we can tie up the end of season 1. Is we did actually go and find my brother.
Yes, we did.
We kind of dropped that storyline completely.
Yeah, we ended up falling out of the sky in a gyrocopter that was not refueled on time.
Yeah,
Not going to name names on whose fault that was.
it was kind of a planned thing.
Yeah, it was.
But,
So what we do, it's like a show. It's what we do. It's a performance for us. It's our characters. We love doing it. It's something that I mean, I've seen things like what we do, sort of. But
yeah,
nothing.
Nobody really doing what we're doing, where it's as of immersive of a role play as it is, while still having the humor elements attached to it, which is the goal all the time, is to be funny.
Always to be funny.
Entertaining.
Entertaining.
Yeah, but we for the audience, anyways, just finished up day 15. That should be out now.
Yep.
Who knows by the time this is out, maybe 16 is out. But we definitely finished up our second Horde night.
Yes, we did.
Which was a ton of fun. Second Horde night. Shady's first Horde base, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Was it your first one?
For a while. I played this game a long time ago and made a lot of Horde bases, but back then, fall damage was still like a huge thing.
It was a very different game. Yeah.
You dragged me into 7 Days to Die.
I did. I dragged you, not so much kicking and screaming, but...
No, this was like he's like, you wanted me to play this game
Yes,
with you.
I did.
And you busted out this old Xbox, which I thought wouldn't even work, and it didn't work half the time.
It didn't.
And the first time we ended up playing like 4 hours, just dinking around, but it was just so much fun.
Yeah.
And then a few months later came the big announcement. Here comes the update.
Yeah, this was my dream. This is what I set out to do in a way. I wanted to make this videos attached to this game. I'm a huge Neebs gaming fan, as I've admitted before.
Oh, yeah.
And I dare not say we're copying them, but we're a close clone.
I would definitely, close clone.
Yeah.
They have a lot of influence in how we...
Absolutely.
For sure.
And we want to put it out there that is just because we honor them and we respect what they do so much.
Yeah. I'm really nervous of being accused of stealing their ideas, but I'm going to be honest, I think they watch and they've stolen my ideas.
Well, they say that imitation is the highest form of flattery.
Yeah, so either way.
So, we love it.
We are, again, we just finished up our second Horde night, and we'd like to get through at least a set of each of us making a Horde night in this playthrough, but the game is experiencing a major update.
Oh, yeah.
So they're jumping from what is called 1.4 now to 2.0. Mm-hmm. And yeah, Jeremy, I think you got a lot of deets on what the update's going to have.
Yeah, I watched most of the live stream from the Fun Pimps, and oh my God, talk about a complete overhaul. This game is about to get so much harder.
That's what it sounds like. Like, the difficulty level will be substantially increased.
There's going to be, like, loot caps. There's going to be, the biome hazards and the storms. And I've heard that, like, there's the blue level zombies and the orange level zombies. And I think, if I read it correctly, those won't show up till, like, a little bit later in the game. Mm-hmm. But, like I was telling JB, the bulletproof glass, they got through it within, like, 5 seconds. It was ridiculous. And sleeper zombies now are, like, just kind of set to roaming. Like, you could have, instead of somebody sleeping underneath, like, a bench or something, they would just crawl out from under, and it's going to get really intense.
Yeah, that's gonna change the entire dynamic of, like, a stealth build, which we've never done.
Right. And, like, they showed, like...
No need.
They showed him walking into the burnt forest without any kind of, built-up armor or immunity to that. And in the first few minutes, you start seeing the smoke start clouding up the screen, and within, like, 3 minutes, you start losing HP because you're not equipped to deal with this stuff.
Yeah, you have to have the red clothing.
Exactly. You have to build that up, get the badges, which a lot of people are like, badges? Why do we need badges in this game now? But still, I mean, it's going to make it... Right now, at the stage that we're at, especially in the game, we're at day, 15, 16?
Yeah, But start 17.
Yeah, previous to that, especially with me and JB, we're up to day, 120, 130? What is it now? No, 160.
On a different game? Yeah. I mean, we've topped games out 160 plus days.
So, OP now, it's like... Yeah. If it's not Horde Night, let's just go to a random POI and kill zombies. There's really no need to get any loot or do jobs at this point.
You hit that stage of the game where... Right. Or playing the game is mundane at that point in time because it's kind of easy,
So,
I think when we get to 2 or 2.0, though, like, moving from biome to biome each week is going to be out of the question. We're going to have to prepare to go to the next biome.
Yeah, we'll have to slow down. We haven't necessarily meant to jump biomes so quickly. Because, again, day 15, we're moving to the desert.
Yeah. We already dealt with Racked and Jen. Now we're already up to Bob.
Yeah, but that's just how it worked within the story, and it was funny, a good way to tell it.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the storyline so far. I like all the characters we do. And for the record, Jen did kind of have a little thing for Shady at the beginning. But,
I was going to fight to the death for her, so...
To her, that was that forbidden fruit she almost tasted.
So, we tried to... tried to avoid bumping heads with Shady, and instead I went right on to apparently pissing Jeremy off.
Oh, for the record, that was just a complete improvisation. I had never planned that at all, but you kind of was like, you kind of hard on him. Like, throughout that, I'm like, I can make this work. I can do something special here. And I was like, yep, let's just bail. Let's just fucking bail. Well, we can do this on our own.
Well, I am the asshole. That's my character. I'm the hard-nosed asshole in this game. I mean, we flip over the schedule 1, and I'm the soft candy boy.
Willie the Trash Man, yo.
Which you're struggling with because that's not your personality.
That's true,
yeah. Trying really hard to be that innocent, sweet guy.
Yeah.
You gotta still challenge your authority every once in a while.
Oh, absolutely.
Then you go right in there and be like, no, I'm running this shit.
Yeah, but I got my ass beat. That's what's happened to me is I've gotten my ass beat.
Okay, hey, where'd you go? Hey, you want to be a part of this organization, bro? There's only one way to get in.
Hey, what do I gotta do?
Get the fucking shit beat out of you, bro!
What's going on?
Blood in, blood out, motherfucker.
So back to 7 days, we got some new style zombies that they showed on the live stream. The pestilence spitters.
Yeah, the desert spitters is what I've heard them called.
Yeah,
and I've been wondering, are they like restricted to the desert? Or are they going to be in like desert and above biomes?
I think, yeah, from what I saw, I think he spawned it. I don't know, maybe it was the pine forest, but yeah, just the way that he spits a load of like insects at you that you have to then take out with a melee weapon. Yeah, and it's intense too. It's like you don't see it at first, and then it's right in your face. And we got a lot of zombies that are throwing shit. The new zombie in the winter biome looks like an abominable snowman. He throws these giant boulders and shit that can probably cause some base damage. So Yeah, we were talking earlier. We're going to start rethinking that strategy if we ever go to the winter biome.
It would be fun to see like the community as a whole have to like scramble to find new ways to cheese the game.
Exactly. And I'm looking forward to it. Eventually, like I said, we're not sure we're going to jump right into it because we still have. You want to do another horde base, right?
I would like to do. I mean, we're finishing up on a week.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to do another week, at least.
After
but
this one,
it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to say if that's a good idea or not. If we somehow try to make the switch over to the new update, I don't know.
And recording time for us is always varies because Shady's across the country, so it's really hard for us to line that up sometimes. So weeks could take a month.
Right.
but yeah, the Schedule 1 episode, we wanted to switch that with him being the boss because I thought it was a fun dynamic to.
No, I totally agree. It is fun, and I would like to see it switched again.
Opposite roles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I enjoy playing the whiny backseat guy. I don't know.
When they told me I was going to be the boss, I was like, well, this is going to be different. Normally JB's telling me what to do. But to be fair, JB and Shady both surpass me in playing these games by leaps and bounds. That's not really me faking being horrible at the game. I genuinely suck. But when it came to Schedule 1, I found my niche, and I know how to play the game, and I know how to get good at the game fast. So I don't know what that says about my character at all, but that one, it just the dynamic meshes together really well with you being the enforcer, you being the newbie, me being the boss, and now we got the Punisher and Spider-Man coming out.
Yeah,
we're doing crossovers with Schedule 1. Are we already filmed the Punisher Spider-Man, right?
We have one filmed. When that will be done is anybody's guess.
Right. We did the Punisher already, which is basically just me running around Highland Point, beating the living shit out of people.
I can see you're waiting for a bus. And where's this bus taking you to? Your secret hideout? Where you sell women and children for slave labor? Huh? Get out of my freaking life! You son of a bitch! Jeff, did you see anything? I didn't think so. And the wicked shall be punished.
Telling them they need to be punished. Because, I mean, in all honesty, if Frank Castle went to that town,
he would be beating the shit out of everybody and throwing them in the dumpsters. Yeah, that was my entire idea for that.
Yeah, and it worked. I loved it. And it was a lot of fun to film.
Would he really be beating up the cops?
I think
corrupt. The cops they're crooked, dude.
Yeah, everybody's corrupt and on drugs in that fucking town.
How do you get that from Schedule 1?
So, okay, so there's a spot in our first episode where I get pat down by a police officer.
Right.
That police officer looks just like Benji. They look just like each other, and I have a feeling that Benji is either like an undercover cop playing a drug dealer, or he's just a cop who drug deals on the side.
Okay, I can see that.
That's an interesting story. I never noticed that before, but hey, he could totally be a narc.
Yeah, anyways, the whole town's corrupt, and it deserves being taken down.
Oh, yeah, everybody from Miss Ming to Molly the drug dealer, take them all down.
Yeah, Miss Kim.
Yeah,
that game is still coming out with more and more updates, too. It'd be interesting in seeing exactly what that turns into.
Yeah, we seen a poll, and the poll is asking whether you'd like to see essentially a new product added, being mushrooms in this case, or police editions. What was it? It
was shrooms, cartel intervention, and stronger police.
Yeah.
I had read some stuff on that. When they talk about stronger police, they're talking about having actual police raids on your compound and stuff like that.
That would be interesting.
It would be very interesting. And we have, like he said, we have our poll. Check out the channel. Cast your vote. We need to know what you guys think.
Let us know what you think if you play the game. I'd say adding a new product to it. You have products. What's necessarily how is that going to really progress the game too much at this point? But increasing police activity would be a whole new layer of the game. So I think that would be where to go. But having a cartel to compete with would also be
I
pretty
truly
cool.
think that one's inevitable. Like, you start off the game saying that there's a cartel there and then
Right.
you never hear about it again.
Yeah.
I think it's inevitable that they enter in a cartel at some point.
For sure.
Then it starts with a note saying, like, watch your back.
Right, right.
This is our territory. It's like, whose?
Yeah, and then you never see these people.
Yeah, so for both of the cases, I mean, the police are already in the game. Souping them up would not necessarily be, it's not adding this whole new thing to the game. Yeah. Kind of like the cartel's already in the storyline. I mean, doing shrooms would just be part of the game.
Like, can you imagine that this game turns into, like, not only you're going to have to run multiple different factories at the same time, because if the police end up raiding one of yours, you still need something up and going.
Yep.
Meanwhile, while you're doing that, you're running into cartel members out there and just getting into random firefights in the streets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, having all that stuff together would be super cool.
But at what point in time does this game just become Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
There's
You don't really sell drugs in Grand Theft Auto.
No, you don't. It's a different dynamic, but it just has a really similar feel.
Yeah.
It's really... I think it would turn more into like a tower defense almost, because like you have these bases that you have to defend against everybody else while keeping them operational, like Factorio or something like that. Like how you're building up a whole factory to keep pushing out this product, and like there's environmental elements coming and trying to stop it.
Yeah,
and blow up things.
Yeah, that sounds exciting. I think one of my favorite parts of this game is just the artwork. I love the way the characters look.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Even the voice acting for the characters, which is nothing, is great. Yeah, I like the sounds that they make.
It's fun. It's colorful. It's innocent enough looking, but at the same time, you're cooking meth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the first time that we all played together, and I was like, we can get meth going, and Shady's like, we don't. And I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. All right, the first time I actually cooked meth in the game, I was just like, what am I doing?
Yeah, you feel naughty.
You do. You feel dirty as hell. But then you get those beautifully colored crystals, and you get to name all your shit, and it's like, that's pretty.
See, but maybe that's like where marijuana is a gateway drug, because
absolutely.
you grew it in that game and we're totally cool with that. It just stepped you right up into the next level.
Yeah. Once you get to cocaine, it's like, well, I don't really need to make meth anymore. It's just extra money at this point.
I find that progression weird, that cocaine is last when meth is obviously a harder drug to be doing.
100% agree. 100%.
I don't know why you don't go from growing weed to growing cocaine and then meth.
That makes more sense,
Meth is the one that really fucks people up at that stage.
Even I'd say in there you have to like throw shrooms within, like maybe even after weed you'd be doing mushrooms.
Yeah. The problem with introducing a new drug is we've already done 3 different drugs. What are you going to do different with shrooms? You're going to combine it with other ingredients to make harder shrooms, or
like you'd have a different way of growing it.
Yeah,
sure.
You would have to
a different mini game there,
It'd probably be like a fish tank or something like that, because I believe that's how you grow mushrooms.
Oh, I don't know, but
dark and humid. I know that.
You have to buy the spores.
I know a lot. The mini games that are already in the game like get old rather quickly.
You'd have to worry about keeping the tank moistened down and then cleaning the tank out and everything like that.
Yeah, probably.
There'd be different elements to it for sure, but it'd kind of be the same.
In the end, it would be relatively the same,
If there was a time element to taking care of your drugs, for example, like say you have to have your weed, like if you don't water your weed, it won't grow, but it won't die.
Right.
If you had that dynamic of where you added a timing element, is if you don't water your plants, they will die.
Yeah.
You will lose money. I think that would add another, like I said, just another element of
I question within my own playthrough if letting your plants go unwatered made them a poorer quality, but I don't think that's true either.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that
could be like your fix there is like every so long, if it was a standard, now it's poor, and then eventually it's junk. If you
what would be the equal to that for like meth? Like you sell your meth, and if it's poor quality, the customer dies.
Well, that's another thing about the quality. I mean, especially when you're first starting out, it really doesn't matter. I've never noticed the quality really affecting sales.
Yeah, those first customers are low lives though.
As long as you have those the addiction up, the addictive properties up.
The addiction makes them buy more often. Right? So like I've noticed that when I start selling off at a certain product, at first they'll only buy like 2 or 3. They'll only want 2 or 3. But the higher addictiveness that it gets, later on they start asking for like jars and stuff like that, where you can sell them 5 at a time.
I had somebody ask me for like 20 buds one time, and I'm like, I gotta make that.
This dude's got a problem.
This dude's got a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so, well, to move on, big news in the gaming world, and we have to comment on it at least a little bit, is that the Switch 2 dropped, am I correct?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Available. Yes, it's sold, and that was a big talking point that I've heard, is that they sold over like 2 million copies in 4 days, which is like the new record for the fastest selling console ever.
Well, you had to expect that, especially from Nintendo.
I guess so, yeah. But everything I've heard is negative about it so far.
I mean, it just came out. A lot
Right.
of systems, when they first come out, had nothing but negative reviews.
I suppose, but it sounded like Nintendo went like full in on all of the things that like you could say the gamer community hates. But I guess like that's been my point about Nintendo for a while, is it's not really like a gamer community device. Nintendo is a family, just for lack of a better word, normie game system.
Yeah, if it's a gaming system that if you want to sit down and chill out and just and play a game, like that's a system to go to.
It's essentially selling nostalgia, right? Like that's where we're at, because even like it was the best selling game system console of all time with like one game upon release. It was Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I also think that it's good for smaller children.
For sure.
Like
Absolutely.
if you want to get your kids into gaming and stuff like that, that's a good system to go to, or a good company to start them off with.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Yeah. Normally, me and my kids are playing video games. Well, now we branched down to PS4 and PS5, but normally it would just be on the Switch, playing Mario, Sonic.
Yeah,
all
sure,
that stuff.
simple. And
Yeah.
Party
colorful,
games.
bright.
Party games is another big thing that Nintendo kind of focuses in on.
yeah,
Yep.
Like, get as many people together to play as you can.
that's true. And I suppose they still do like thrive on the multiplayer genre where it's so couch co-op. Like obviously you can take the Switches online, but they're designed to play with somebody with you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And that, sadly enough, that's a dying community.
It absolutely.
Yeah.
Like,
We've gone over that many times. We think more couch co-op games need to be made.
yeah, the more the better. Yeah.
And, yeah, so that's what I think of the Nintendo.
The Nintendo, yeah.
And they got the Xbox is coming out with a handheld device.
The Ally, yeah.
I've heard about that, yeah. And I've heard that thing could like run Steam.
Yeah, it's like partnered through Steam. Apparently, like the Ally is just a handheld but type of device that exists anyways, but this is the Xbox Ally.
So
okay.
Steam has one called the Steam Deck,
Yeah.
yeah,
and you can play all your Steam games on there. And this sounds like it's going to be
essentially the same thing.
essentially, but probably Xbox's own way of being different.
Well, I think you can like remote play through your system. PlayStation has something similar right now that's a handheld that is like a remote play of your own system. I'm not sure how that works either, but I guess if you know how it works, let us know in the comments. Are they worth it? Is it worth it at all to have something like an Ally?
I don't know.
No, I mean versatility, on the go gaming, I suppose. But
Not too many games from my perspective. I'm always playing horror games, so there's not too many games I'd want to play on the go on a Steam Deck.
I don't know. Could you imagine having the lights off in your bedroom, like just having that screen up to your face?
Well, thank you for giving me that nightmare now. That would suck.
It did.
Because I'm already in bed, because there's nowhere to go after that.
Yeah, that would be the place to play horror games, because like now you're gonna put it down and go to sleep, and you're not gonna be able to sleep the entire time.
He's right.
excellent.
He's right. Ugh.
But I think that's gonna be a problem for Nintendo if that comes out and it's a big hit. Nintendo's little Switch deck might be.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. These things are definitely going to be the competition to the Switch, which really Nintendo has been out on its own for the last couple generations, really since the Switch came out.
Mm-hmm.
It is an innovative device for sure. I mean, they went out with the Wii. You could almost say they were in a league of their own when they came out with the Wii.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm surprised they weren't out with the VR system first thing, because the Wii was almost VR.
Pretty much.
Almost. It's just all they had to do is fix the audio on it, but the hand motions and stuff.
Nintendo is always obsessed with handheld gaming. I mean, back to the Game Boy Game & Watch, you know?
Yeah.
But so they're not even considered in competition really. I mean, kind of with PlayStation and Xbox because they're in their own thing. They're in their own niche.
That's what I've been saying for a while. Is the gaming wars is between Sony and Xbox, which it sounds like there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes there too, where they're coming together. You're going to get a lot of Sony exclusives on Xbox and vice versa. So maybe this is the time where like these guys are going to gang up and try to take on Nintendo.
They could.
That would be the war of the Rohirrim that I would love to see.
I don't think that. So, I think one probably ended up failing in the end. Like, do you remember back in the day when the Xbox was first made?
Oh yeah,
That was the system everybody wanted. It was like had all these cool features on it. Like PlayStation came out with its thing, and like people bought it, but Xbox was the console everybody wanted.
You're damn right.
After I would say about the 360, Xbox really fell off, and Sony kind of took all those players.
I agree.
Yeah, but I mean, when the PlayStation launched, that was huge as well. I would say that Xbox was a new player on the scene at the time, and yeah, for sure, that was the system to have in the original launch. Yeah. And then I would agree with you that PlayStation. I was an Xbox guy this whole time, and I've made the switch to PlayStation 5. And like I'm not sure what the new Xbox is like, but from the Xboxes I've had in the past, like the PlayStation 5 is just a sturdier, more well-built, and just well-rounded machine.
When the 360 came out, the interface was terrible. Like the community hated it. And then, not to mention, you had the Red Ring of Death. Like you remember the
Ring of fucking Death.
That stuff all really killed Xbox's sales and everything like that.
I can imagine. Yeah, those machines didn't run well. Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of comparing it to now, is saying the PlayStation 5 is just a sturdy machine. I haven't really had any issues with it.
I think if Xbox wants to come back from it, like they either need to go talk to the gaming community and find out what features they really want for a console and build that. Or maybe they just merge with Sony and call it Microsoft wipes their hands of it.
That's what I mean, the competition is good. The competition is good to have. But that's kind of what I'm getting at, is like them joining forces and becoming the new gaming, platform.
Yep.
Well, when Xbox came out, what was its direct sequel? Is it the 360?
One.
Xbox One was the second one?
It was the 360.
I believe so, yeah.
Now that, if I remember correctly, Sony had already come out with like PlayStation 2?
It was probably on 3 at the time of the 360.
Okay, so the original Xbox had an extremely long lifespan before they got to the 360, right?
It felt like that, but I could have just been young, and it felt that way because I was younger.
It felt that way to me too. Like Xbox was around forever before we got an Xbox sequel, and Sony had already cranked out 2 and 3 by the time 360 came out. I think that also played a detrimental part in the Xbox itself.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Well, hey, things keep on moving. AI's taking over probably pretty soon. Video games are going to be reality, and reality is just going to be a goddamn video game. But anyways, we want to say thank you for joining us here at I guess this is still the rabbit hole.
It's still the rabbit hole.
You're back in the hole. Thanks for dangling along with Jeremy, Shady. Check out the series. It's running every single week. We're trying to get a video up every Wednesday for 7 Days to Die. Schedule one's a little bit more hit or miss, but we got new episodes of that coming too. We got some retro games. We got some Jeremy doing lone stuff. We got some music, and probably should have thrown this out there at the beginning of the show because most people aren't listening to the end, but Jeremy and I are also in a band. It's called Echoes from the Shore. We have like 7 songs now that are ready to go, that are out there, that are streaming everywhere where music is streaming. It's definitely here on YouTube. So search it. Check out Echoes from the Shore. Listen to our last song, Sunset from the Wasteland, which is an ode, I'd say, to 7 Days to Die anyways.
Absolutely.
Especially if you're enough of a gamer nerd to have watched this far. I think our music is right up your alley. So thanks to our special guest, Shady, who's not really a special guest, but he's here, and so we had to do a podcast. Yeah. Maybe we'll do another one. Thanks for joining us. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.
Peace out.